So my father will always warn me to be wary of anywhere they are giving me loud ovation. And this place looks like that place now. So I'm very wary of all of you here now, right? You see, it was Helen Keller that made the famous quote, "Alone, we can do so much little, but together we can achieve so much more," right? And that will lead me to a question. It's actually an irrelevant question for now, but we'll get to understand that later, that I'm going to ask us now. How many of us have electronic devices that we'll finish using? It's old, discarded, but it's lying somewhere in our houses, one corner of the wardrobe or cupboard or something, shelf or whatever. If you know you have such, any electronic gadgets, just let me see your hand up. Oh, all of us are guilty of this. All right. So, we are all gathered here today under a theme, Igwebike. And the word Igwe in Igbo means multitude, right? Crowd. Then the other part of it we call Buike, means have strength or is strength, right? So in other words, we are all gathered here because we believe that multitude is strength. But then, it is a bedrock of so many things we do in life. It is not only in business. It is in our culture. It is in politics. In fact, it is Igwebike that determines who rules this country. It is in sales. It is in education and all whatnot. As a matter of fact, when we tag Nigeria as the giant of Africa, it is the Igwebike in Nigeria that is making us what? The giant of Africa. But beyond what we know as Igwebike is a very key tool that works with Igwebike, which I want all of us to learn. That tool is what we call leverage. It is leverage that makes Igwebike so powerful that when we go to our roots, our culture, like when Prof was talked about people coming together to contribute in building houses for somebody. That's leverage. When we come to community building, like TEDxUmudike, I was here last night, seeing everybody running, doing one thing or the other to what? Help. That's what? Leverage. TEDxUmudike only leveraged on all our individual strengths to pull off what we are witnessing here today. And when we now bring it down to business, what do we see? We see so many things we witness every day without knowing that this is leverage through, or Igwebike through the tool called leverage. And so I'm just going to cite some instances for us that will allow us to, see where we can apply this. Let me go to business side. As a local trader that I am, when you go to markets like Ariara, you go to markets like Main Markets or Chanja, you go to markets like the one at Enugu or the one at Abakaliki and all that. I visited all these markets because when I started newly, it was me taking my electronics business from one market to other, from one state to the other, gaining those experience. But when you visit those places, there's a whole lot of Igwebike activities going on through leverage that many of us need to understand. Even at the corporate sector, the main corporate sector itself, there's a whole lot of Igwebike. So I'm just going to share a few of them. But when we are done, we are now going to take out time to research so many other forms of Igwebike we can witness. Because when we apply these things, it will not only grow what we are doing, it has a way of building us to the top. How many of us have ever contributed Ajo here? Ajo. Carry this month, let me carry next month. Where is it? December is coming? Okay. So, you see, many of us find it difficult to pull resources together. But we can part with some level of resources on a monthly basis. But when it comes to solving bulk problems, it becomes an issue. Right? And what does that come? Igwebike comes to our aid through the word leverage. Where 10 of us comes, I cannot save 100,000 naira at once, but I can save 10,000. Eh? And I know that if I decide to save 100,000, 10,000 every month, once it gets to 50,000, my mental capacity will tell me this is enough. Go and use it and flex yourself. And so, what Igwebike does is it brings our lives together. Those that I cannot save what? 100,000 at a stretch. And what we'll now do, we start saving those 10,000 on a monthly basis. When we pull it all together, one person takes it home and use it to solve a problem of 100,000 that ordinarily he or she wouldn't have solved, because her limit of saving is always at what? 50K. That's Igwebike. Now, when you go to main market or area, you see people answering what? Importers and what? Exporters. How do they become importers and exporters? Go and check how much is a container load of materials, let me say clothing materials. Go and check how much. And you find out that within that market, you may not have so many of them that have the capacity to bring in those container loads of what? Products. But here again, Igwebike comes to the rescue. And what it does is they pool their resources together and now ship one container or two containers of these materials. Igwebike cuts down the cost of their agency fee. Igwebike cuts down the cost of their freight. Igwebike cuts down the cost of their duty, import duties. Igwebike cuts down the cost of even the logistics that brings it down to them. And at the end, everybody gets what? A chunk of what? That particular goods all the way. And that is what? Import, right? So in right, the person is what? An importer. It is also this spirit that leads so many of the partnerships that we witness today. Even the franchise business that we do. So today you see Chicken Republic popping up everywhere. You see ShopRite popping up everywhere. What they try to do, you see NNPC mega stations popping up everywhere, is the spirit of what? Igwebike. NNPC may not have the capacity, or ShopRite may not have the capacity to be everywhere. Chicken Republic may not have the capacity to be everywhere. But there are individuals that believes in the system of this organization, and they want to maintain that standard that they've put in place. They can come in and do these things through what you call what? Franchise. Take this, maintain our standard, and run it, and give us whatever that is ours, and take what is yours. And in all this explanation, what is simply telling us is that Igwebike, through leverage, is what? Collaboration. It is not what? Competition. And so, for us to begin now and see ourselves as I'm a student, I am aiming for first class? No, that's not what it's good to aim for what? First class. But what Igwebike is, can you all be 10 aiming for that what? First class. Form a study group. That's Igwebike through leverage. Those of us that have business ideas, don't hide it. Let me shock you. There is no idea you have here that someone else doesn't have. There is nothing you are hiding. You are limited by knowledge. If you think you know anything, in fact, I used to tell my people now, the greatest things we have now is ChatGPT. So if you think you know anything, just enter ChatGPT. Tell ChatGPT that thing you know. You will know that you don't know anything. So, start looking out for one another. Start collaborating. 3 of you can join money here to support a business and take your own share. 10 of us can combine money to buy a plot of land. That's Igwebike. We can do a whole lot of things, not as individual, but as a team. And that is what will bring us to the main thing that have helped me so far in my life journey, community building. I've built so many communities through the help of people, through the leverage of people. Abiding by this key word, Igwebike. In fact, let me tell you a very short story. When I got the license to host SM Fest in Oka, by the way, SM Fest is one of the biggest events we have in Nigeria right now. And I took that license from my friend Aja Excel. I told him we are going to do something big in Anambra because I'm from Anambra. And I just want to replicate the good thing I'm seeing in Imo State, in Anambra State. But I don't know anybody. I don't have anybody. But then the spirit of Igwebike came in, and I told someone going to Anambra for an event, I said, when you get to the event, get me the list of everybody there. Bring it to me. I just want to have it. And the person went, got me the list. I started calling everybody one after the other. And from there, we had our team. From there, we reached out. From there, we had an amazing community that is now holding thousands of Anambra youths. But what has formed me? My journey as an electronics dealer, my journey as a community builder, my journey as a Rotarian needs to be weaved into one. And that's why we formed an organization a company we called Umpire, which is an e-waste company that seeks to collect e-waste from individuals, organizations, and everywhere we can find e-waste, and responsibly recycles that e-waste. We are not just recycling it. For every e-waste we recycle, we plant a tree. And we don't just plant a tree, we plant an economic tree, because way back in 2001 or 2, I went to Benue State. I saw mango. I ate mango, and I respected mango, all free of charge because it was more than available. And since then, I've been asking myself, why can't we replicate all these things around us? Why can't people go, if you are hungry, just go out, you will get fruit and eat as much as you can before you now start talking about food. And with that vision, we've infused it into what we are building at Umpire, where every single e-waste we've collected, we planted a tree. 2 weeks ago, we were at Imo Government Girls College in Owerri, where we planted so many trees, economic trees. In fact, today now, they've formed a community protecting these trees. Last week, we were in Lagos, in partnership with Umpire Hydrogen and Rotary Club in Lagos, and we did the same. So what am I saying? All of us that have gadgets in our homes, in our houses, what we need to understand is that these gadgets can form a forest of economic trees, feeding thousands of people, millions of people, around us. So when you get back home, get these devices, go onto our site, www.umpire.com, check what we are doing, see how you can reach across to us. Together, all of us can plant these trees, make Nigeria better, because as individuals, we can only recycle few wastes. But when we come as communities, we can do so much more and plant millions of trees. Thank you.